Hi and good evening, everybody. I'm Michelle Wood-Lavis. I am your Tupperware hostess with the mostest. It's about 12 minutes after the time that I intended to start, so thank you so much for bearing with me. I wanted to come on here and show you guys some of my favorite things, so I'll try to wait until some of you guys join and then we'll get started. If you haven't already read through the other posts that are on the party page, there's a lot of product information. There's a link so that you can view the catalog. There's also a link to the party to place orders. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and ask me any questions. I will, if I don't know the answer to you, I will definitely get back to you with it. I have been a Tupperware consultant now for about 3 months. I've been probably a lifetime lover of Tupperware, and I feel like most of us know Tupperware from like our grandparents or our moms or whenever they had it, but Tupperware has had so many innovations that I think people don't even know about, and that's what I want to share with you. Some of the things. Hi Norma, thanks for joining. We're just waiting for a few more people to start before I start the demo. Welcome to the party. I'm Michelle Wood-Lavis. I'm a Tupperware consultant. I was just sharing a little bit about myself. I've been a consultant for about 3 months with Tupperware, but I've been a lifetime lover of Tupperware. And what I was just saying is that I don't think a lot of people realize that Tupperware is way more than containers. I mean, don't get me wrong. They still have some super great containers, but they are way more than containers. And so that's what I want to show you guys tonight. Some of my favorite things that are super time saving, energy saving, super efficient. I feel like most of you guys watching tonight probably live in Central California. I live in Exeter, so you guys know that it has been super hot this last week or so. Well, I want you to know that I literally, and my husband and my son can attest to this, have not turned on my stove at all to cook dinner. Not because I wasn't cooking dinner, but because I didn't need my stove to cook dinner, which saved me a lot of sweat standing over this thing. But I recently got a stack cooker. If you've never heard of a stack cooker, I want to tell you that this has been a game changer in my house. You can literally put a 3-course dinner in this thing, pop it in the microwave, and in about 30 minutes, you have dinner. Whether you're making rice, making potatoes, making a main course, making a dessert. I have some demo videos on YouTube, and I'll share the links to see them. I've made chicken parmesan in the middle portion of this thing, and I made some what did I make that night? Oh yeah, I did rice in the bottom, chicken parm and vegetables in the middle, and on the top I made a dump cake. And if you've never heard of a dump cake, it's basically any kind of pie filling, and then you put cake on top of that and butter, and that's it. And it was so simple. I've done meatloaf and mashed potatoes and a vegetable. I've done cakes, and they come out incredible, and that's what I'm going to show you tonight. So we've got a few people that have joined. If I say your names wrong, I'm so sorry. Apologize in advance. Most people call me Shelly. I think it's a lot easier than saying Michelle Wood-Lavis. It's a long name. So feel free to call me Shelly. You can message me with any questions that you have. You can message me on here and I'll try to get back to you. I'm going to turn this way just so you guys can see what I'm doing, because we're going to make a cake while you're watching and while it's microwaving, because we're going to make it in the microwave in about 9-10 minutes. I'm going to talk to you guys about some of my favorite things that are just life-saving, time-saving, money-saving, energy-saving, Mother Nature-saving. Yes, Tupperware literally does all of that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix up some cake. So what I have here, I'll just show it to you. This is my mix and whip. Whoop, my little base just came unstuck there. Went right back on. So there's a little base that keeps it stable to your counter, and I don't know if you guys can see that. If you guys have any trouble seeing, whoops, phone down. Sorry guys, I apologize. Let me hook that right back in there. If you guys can't see anything, let me know. I want to make sure you guys are able to see everything that I'm doing. So anyway, I have my mix and whip here, and I'm just going to take a regular box cake mix and basically follow the instructions on the back as far as mixing purposes go, but I'm going to add a little bit of extra things to it. And I apologize for not having everything set up and being on time. I just got a call from my mom who lives in Tulare, actually. I know some of you guys that are watching tonight or are part of the party are from Tulare, and she took a fall. So she does not want to go to the emergency room tonight. I could not convince her to do that. I was about to postpone going live and doing the demonstration. So she wants me to take her in the morning. So I said, okay, Mom, I will take you in the morning. So I was trying to get everything set up in a rush. So in a moment, I'm going to have to pop off camera for about 2 seconds just to grab my eggs. So anyway, back to the mix and whip. This thing is awesome. You can mix up, obviously, any kind of cake mix, batter, or dough, but you can also make whipped cream in it if you want to make fresh whipped cream instead of buying the store-bought stuff, which is like double the price and less the health benefit, right? So we're going to put everything in our mix and whip. And I'm just basically going to follow the directions on the cake. So my grandmother always told me that to make a well, and then put your wet ingredients into the well of whatever batter you are making. Now, the mix and whip does come with a wet ingredient funnel that goes right on the top, and you can pour your wet ingredients in. But I'm a little bit old-fashioned in that sense, and I like to kind of do it a little bit like my grandma wanted me to do. So I'm going to use 1 cup of water, and I'm just going to measure that right in and pour it right into the whip and mix. Set the water aside. Then it calls for a 1/3 cup of softened butter, but I'm going to use coconut oil. You know, I know that most recipes, they want you to follow exactly when you're baking, but when it comes to oil, you can really use what benefits you the most. I really like coconut oil. It doesn't taste like coconut. There are some that taste like coconut, but you can find some pretty good brands that don't taste, you know, like coconut or an odd flavor. It's just a very clean flavor, and I prefer using coconut oil. So this is just a plain butter mix that I'm using, butter cake mix, but my topping that I'm going to use is an apple pie filling, which has already got all kinds of spices in it. So I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon to my cake mix. So if you're following this recipe, it's super easy. You just follow the recipe on the box, and I added a little extra spice. I'm going to go grab my eggs real quick, and I'll be right back with you. All right, I am back. So I don't want to crack my eggs right into my batter in case I get any eggshells in there. Tupperware also does have this whole little setup. It's called an all-in-one. It comes like this. Looks like a little tiny measuring cup on the bottom with all these little extra parts. 1 part's a juicer, 1 part's an egg separator. So let's say we were doing a white cake and you want to separate the eggs. It just makes it super easy to separate those. I'm only going to use the base because I need something to crack my eggs in and not to get my shells in it. So this recipe calls for 3 eggs. So you always want to crack your eggs into something different because you don't, if you get shells in it, like I just did, which I can actually, I was just about to tell you guys about this tip that, let's see if I can show you. I got a little piece of shell in there. Eggshells attracted to eggshells, so if you ever do crack an egg and you get shells, you can just use the big piece of the shell to pull it right back out. But you can't do that if you dump it right into your cake, right? And then you're going to have a shell somewhere floating around in there, which you don't want to happen. So cracking my 3 eggs into a separate container before I put them into my whip and mix. So now I'm just going to pour those right on in there and get this out of my way. So the whip and mix is going to go right on top. And I know a lot of people who have like big countertop stand mixers, and I used to always want one because, well, I do a lot of cooking for the most part. Clean up my cake mix there. And I was always, oh, also before I forget, there's 2 gears you can use here on the top. The one is for looser, and then as you get thicker, then you can use the number 2. And it's really easy to just, I don't know if you guys can see, move those back and forth like that. So the first couple of turns always takes a little bit of work to get it started, but once you get it going, everything comes together pretty quickly. I don't know if you guys can see that there on camera. So we're just gonna give it a few turns, and you may have to stop at some point and just scrape down the sides just like you would if you were using a big stand mixer. This is a pretty thick batter. I feel like I might need just a little bit more water in there. And sometimes things are kind of touch and go. You know, actually it looks like it's coming together pretty well. I might not need any extra water. Let me just scrape down my sides a bit because I just want to make sure that everything gets incorporated. There we go. Set that aside. And then I'm just going to give it a few more turns. See who else has joined there. Hi guys, thank you for joining me tonight. If you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and comment, ask any questions about any products. I will be glad to try to answer them for you the best that I can. If I don't know something, I will try to find out. I've only been with Tupperware for about 3 months, but I've been a long time user of Tupperware. As you guys can see here, I don't know if you guys can see on camera there, my batter is pretty well incorporated there. So I'm just gonna set this other piece in my sink for a second. So I don't wanna get it all over my counter. But as you guys can see if I can get that. Oh no, can you guys see? If you guys can see it pretty good, let me know. If someone wants to comment or just wave or do like a little, I can see it. I wanna make sure that you guys are being able to see everything that I'm doing. So then the next thing that we're gonna do in the stack cooker. Now the stack cooker comes with a 3-quart casserole, this bottom one, and that's the one we're going to use. And it comes with this little cone. And let me hold this up for a second. In here you can see there's a little circle, and that's where the cone is going to sit. And it doesn't like attach to it, but it sits there to stabilize it, because what we're basically going to do is make like a bundt cake shape. Now you can also do this with meatloaf. I actually did my meatloaf in the center. It comes with a 1.5-quart casserole and a 1/2 quart colander. I can't tell you guys, since I got this thing, I literally do not turn on my stove. I have made taco meat from frozen hamburger meat in about 8 to 10 minutes. It's pretty impressive. And again, not having to turn on your stove, not having to stand there and, you know, watch this grease splattering everywhere. It's been life-changing. Now it also comes with a lid that goes on top, but today we're actually going to use it as a stand. So when we put our cake in the microwave, we're going to set it on top of this to give it a little height, because the air is going to flow all the way around it and it's going to cook more evenly. Also, some people like to use this as an extra section to cook in, which is what I did the other night when I made the meatloaf, mashed potatoes in the bottom, and Brussels sprouts I used right on top with Brussels sprouts, bacon, and onions. And I have them on YouTube. If you want to go and watch them, I've got some demos, and there's a lot of people that have other demos out there that are super awesome. Now this also comes with 2 seals. So let's say I wanted to prep this the night before. I could get everything prepped up, put the lid on, put it right in my refrigerator. When I get home from work, literally all I have to do is take the seal off, put it in the microwave. About 30 minutes, you have dinner and dessert or whatever you want to make. It's pretty life-changing. I can't tell you how impressed I am with it. Anyway, back to cake. So you don't really have to put cooking spray, but I am going to put just a little bit around the edges. Now this surface is made of a non-porous material, which is actually like the same as the, I just want to make sure I get the cone there. The Vent and Serve line is also made of the same non-porous material, and they actually use the same material making fighter jet windows, because they're virtually bulletproof. Now someone told me that you can stand on these and they won't break. I don't want to test that. I am a big girl, but I'm sure somebody could if you wanted to. And then if it did break, well, Tupperware does have a limited lifetime warranty, so depending on the reason it broke or got damaged, they would replace it. So the other thing that I'm going to do, back to cake, because I get so excited talking about Tupperware, because they really do have some amazing products that you just really wouldn't think. I'm getting text messages. I have 2 other parties that are going on right now too. So after I make this cake, I'm going to make dinner on my next demo. And if any of you guys want to join that party, let me know. I'll go ahead and send you an invite. That way you can see dinner. My husband's like, what are you making for me for dinner? I'm like, well, I got to make dessert first because I'm doing a demo. So they're patiently waiting for me to do this demo so they can have dinner. My husband and my son are so gracious to allow me to have the time to come on and share some of this stuff with you guys. You know, COVID kind of changed the way everything was done as far as in-home party goes. You know, a lot of people are kind of still very leery, understandably, about having in-home parties. So thanks to technology, we're able to, you know, come on live and at least show you some of our favorite things that really are just so fabulous. I really am in awe, and I never actually set out to, you know, become a Tupperware consultant. I attended a Facebook party like you're attending now, and I've always loved Tupperware. Okay, guys, so sorry, I got to talking, and then I was like, squirrel, and I didn't tell you about what I'm doing. So basically, I took a can of apple pie filling, and I just kind of made a ring around the cone. If you guys can see that there, I made a ring around the cone. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my batter from my whip and mix. I'm just going to give it a couple of extra spins there. That's the other thing about cake mix, just to give you guys a quick tip, or anything they were mixing, whether it's hamburger meat for a meatloaf or a cake mix. Any kind of batter, you don't want to over mix. If you over mix, it's going to get tough, and nobody wants to eat tough meat or tough cakes or tough breads. You kind of want that good pillowy feeling. So that's what's great about the mix and whip, because it allows you to still have that air, and you just want those wet ingredients to incorporate the dry. They don't have to be totally dry because the baking process is going to do that. So don't over mix your cakes. All right, you guys, so I've got my batter in here. You can see I got a little bit more, and there's still a few dry bits, but that's okay, like I said, because the microwave, if you guys hear talking in background, that's my husband and my son, is going to do the rest. Now, with cooking in your microwave, let me just grab a paper towel really quick. Microwaves work by cooking from the outside in. So if you do get any batter on your sides or on your cone, you just want to kind of give that a little bit of a wipe off, just to make sure you don't have any excess batter on there. All right, I'm going to take the lid, flip it upside down. You can see that there's these little bumps on the top. Well, the cake has corresponding bumps. Now these don't actually lock into place, but they kind of fit like so they'll be even. So now I'm going to pop into the microwave. I'm going to put it in for 9.5 minutes. Now, I have an older microwave, so if you have a newer one, it might only take 8 minutes. But I have an older microwave, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it in there for almost 10 minutes. Let me get this out of the way real quick. Thanks for sticking with me there while I got some of the trash out of the way. Anyway, while that is in the microwave, I wanted to tell you guys about, let me go ahead and move this back so you guys can see me again, some of my favorite things that I use on a daily basis. I use this thing right here so often that I don't even put it away anymore. This is my little chef prep, and it actually comes with a dough mixing paddle, so you can mix up waffle batter in it. I actually have a YouTube video of me mixing up some waffle batter. I've been doing Weight Watchers now for about 3 months too. So I mixed up my waffle batter with some Greek yogurt and some bananas, and it came out really, really delicious. And I whipped it up in just a few minutes with this. It saved me so much time. So right now I have the paddle, or the blade. Let me see if you guys can see this here. It comes with a guard, but I don't even put the guard back on anymore because I literally use this like every day making fresh salsa for my husband. And why would you buy salsa from the grocery store when you can make it fresh for way cheaper and tasting way better with far less preservatives? This thing can even make baby food. You can make a smoothie in it. It's just beyond impressed me. So anyway, It comes with this little blade here and a little extender paddle, and you just pop it right in like that. Then this lid sits right on top. It's got some little groove holes that you put it in. Sorry, you want to coordinate your little octagon shapes too so that it goes in the holes easily for you. Snap shut. You get a few pulls. You've diced onions, you're not crying, or you've done your garlic, or you've made a pesto. I mean, literally in minutes. And I can't tell you, if I turn to the camera that way, you can see that I have a Ninja blender slash food processor slash smoothie maker on my counter, but since I've had this, I don't even use that thing. I hate pulling out all the extra attachments and pieces and parts and blades, and I cut myself almost every time I do it. And this thing, I can just keep it in the palm of my hand. I can make a smoothie. I can make salsa. I don't have to pull out all the pieces from my other blender. It just literally has saved me so much time in the kitchen. Next, I have to tell you guys about this. This is the Micro Pro Series grill. Yes, it's a grill that goes in your microwave. It is made of metal. Metal in the microwave? Yes, it is possible, because on the bottom is silicone plating, and on the top there's a silicone lid, and these little feet keep it raised up so that the air circulates around at the outside and it stops the microwaves from connecting to the metal. Isn't that an amazing technology? I would have never thought, but I've used this thing so many times since I've had it. I made the cheesiest, best tasting potatoes in here in about, let's see, 12 minutes. I put it in for 8 minutes at first, then I pulled it out, checked it, put some cheese on top with this lid right back on top. It goes two ways actually. If you turn it this way, it will sink right down on top of whatever you're putting in here. So you can make grilled cheese, grilled fish, grilled chicken, grilled vegetables in minutes in your microwave. And if you turn it the other direction where there's holes on this side, so it's not going all the way down because I have a cake ring in it, because yes, you can make cake in this too. Or I just saw this recipe that I'm dying to try. It's a chocolate chip cookie cake that somebody made in their Micro Pro grill, and I was like, what? I gotta try that. That would be the coolest to make for my son. His birthday's coming up at the end of July, and he's gonna be 17, so he's not into like little kid birthday parties and stuff anymore, but he would flip over having a giant cookie cake. So I'm probably gonna try that out just to give it a test run before I make that for his birthday. Anyway, I had another squirrel moment. So you see here, it's got this metal plate on top in the lid. So that's what creates the grill. And you can also, I made a lasagna in this. I made an enchilada casserole in this in minutes, literal, like less than 15 minutes we're talking, in the microwave. I did not have to turn on my oven. It has been 96 degrees this last week. Cooking over a stove or an oven has been the last thing that I have wanted to do at all. This has been a game changer. If you guys are interested in this, let me know. I will answer any questions I can. If you want to earn one, let's have a party. Book me as your host. We'll plan a party. We will earn you some free hostess points, and we will get you your free products that you love and want. Next thing I want to tell you about is that I also didn't know how awesome and eco-friendly. Oh, I spilled my water cup all over it too. Well, now I can tell you how absorbent they are, because I didn't even realize I had spilled my entire cup. This is a Tupperware cup also. It's in the catalog. I'd spilled the entire thing just about on the cabinet, but it soaked up all the water. I was just thinking, why is mine wet? This is a dusting towel actually, but you can see it has absorbed all the water on my cabinet. So they make really great absorbent towels, dusting towels. They have reusable water bottles. My husband and I both use ours just about every day. I have stopped buying cases and cases of bottled water and throwing out bottles or having to go to the recycler or all of that, because I bought one of those Brita water pitchers and I just refill my water bottle and I take it with me everywhere. I absolutely love that Tupperware is eco-conscious. They're trying to do their part to help the planet, to lessen waste, And, you know, I mean, we all have to do our part, right? So they have these awesome microfiber towels that are super absorbent. I literally sucked up a whole cup of water in both of these towels. So I planned to show you, but hey, they're full of water. They also have some cleaning products. This is a bottle brush. I hate the idea of having a bottle like this without having a long handled bottle brush to get all the way down in there, because nothing's worse than having like this much of a bottle brush and being able to get that far and not being able to get all the way down, right? You moms out there, you know this. This is great for actual baby bottles too. There was something else I was just going to tell you guys about, and it just went bloop, right out of my mind. I'll have to come back to it. Anyway, Tupperware has made some awesome eco-friendly products. If you're interested in any of those, please let me know. They make all kinds of reusable coffee cups. This one I use for water, actually. But I do have, let me grab my thermos here. This is a, see if you guys can see, it's a really pretty color too. It's like a metal flake blue. This will keep your hot coffee hot for, I believe it's up to 8 hours. And your ice cold things, I have not tried this yet, but I have heard of people that still have ice 24 hours later. I haven't tried it for ice. I'm a coffee drinker. I know even in summer I drink my coffee every day. I love my Nespresso. But now that it is getting so warm, one of the things on my wish list is the cold brew coffee system that Tupperware has created. I don't know about you guys, but I go to Starbucks pretty often and get an iced coffee. Matter of fact, I went and got one today. But if I had my own cold brew coffee system, then I wouldn't have to have spent not just $5, because I had to get my son one too, $10 on coffee for one time, when I could make it at home for pennies on the dollar. So if you guys are coffee drinkers or tea drinkers, there is a cold brew craft that Tupperware makes. It's in the catalog. The catalog link is posted in the About tab of this party page. So it's super easy to find, but if you can't, message me, or you want to see a hard copy, let me know. If you're local, I will bring you one. Another one of my favorite things, we're down to about 30 seconds, and I want to be able to show you guys this awesome cake. But I also want to show you the Fridge Mart systems. Now this one I actually have broccoli in. All of mine are in my refrigerator because I use them all of the time. They have this vent and a corresponding section here to tell you when you put your produce in what vent level to move it over to. I make salsa a lot, so I buy cilantro. There's our cake. Now you're supposed to let it rest for a couple minutes before you turn it out. So let me pull it out so I can set it on the counter while I talk to you about a few of my more favorite things. Also, what I want you to notice is that I don't have any pot holders in my hands, right? And you just heard my microwave beep, so you know that this has been in here. These are Stay Cool handles. Hold it right out. You can see the steam. Can you see the steam? I hope you can see the steam coming off of there. But I did not use pot holders. So if your kids want to help in the kitchen, they can help. I mean, obviously I would help them pull that in and out of the microwave. But Stay Cool handles, you can pick it up and touch it. Also, the MicroPro grill does have Stay Cool handles too, but there's metal all the way around it, so I still use pot holders just because I feel like safety first. I don't want to get burned. That metal heats up. Even though the handles are cool, I don't want to accidentally touch it and get burned. So anyway, while that is resting for just a few minutes, oh, and you can already see here, it's pulling away from the edges. I don't know if you're able to tell that or not in the camera angle, but that's how you know that the cake is cooked. But I'll let that chill out for just a second. So back to the Fridge Mart system. This also comes in a set. It comes in like this one is called a small deep because it's small and deep, but they also have some shorter ones. Well, don't worry, you'll get to eat cake tonight. My son said it smells good. And then they have some longer ones that are about this same deep. Then they have some longer ones that are thinner. You can get it in a set or you can buy individual pieces. You guys, I literally have cilantro in my refrigerator right now that I've had for going on 6 weeks. And I have a few brown bits here and there, but after 6 weeks, I would expect that because before I could keep it about 3 days in a cup of water and it would be turning to mush. So these have saved me so much money from throwing out my fruits and vegetables. I can't even tell you. It's been a game changer for me. Another one of my favorite things is my Crystal Wave. Now, I was buying this long before, and I actually have some lasagna in here that I made in my microwave pro grill. But we use these every day for our lunches. And what the coolest thing about these things and the Vent and Serve line is these vents that they have. Boop. I don't have to take the lid off of this to reheat it in the microwave. And where I work with a bunch of other people. And I don't know about you, but other people aren't as clean as I am, I think. And you go to open the microwave and you look at the top of that thing and there's just splatters and yuck and gross stuff. And nobody wants to eat that. And I don't want that getting in my food. So with the Crystal Wave line and the Vent and Serve, I don't have to take the lid off to microwave my food. I can pop that little vent open, pop it in the microwave. When you're using the Crystal Wave, you want to use the reheat setting, not full power, because you don't want to damage things. They are microwave safe, obviously, but on full power they will cause some damage. But the Vent and Serve line, you can put on full power, reheat, defrost, whatever. It goes. The Vent and Serve can go from freezer to fridge to microwave. Either way, it's super awesome. But I have been in love with the Crystal Wave line forever. They make soup mugs. They make divided. I don't have any right here because they're probably in my refrigerator. Divided containers. I make our lunches in them just about every single day, and they are fantastic. The other thing that I use every day that I didn't know Tupperware made until I bought it was knives. I knew they had some utensils, but this is the Tupperware Pro Series knife. You can get different ones in different sets. I use this thing all the time, and I am in love with it. They also sell some cutting boards. I can grab mine actually because I used it just a little while ago. Cutting boards. This is going to come with your Cheese Smart set. So if you order the Cheese Smart, which like this is like you could put cheese on it and it has a little dome, but it's also a cutting board. You can use just about for anything. My absolute favorite new thing that I have gotten from Tupperware recently is my my little lemon and lime juicer, because it comes with this zester. And if anybody else has ever tried zesting with a microplane, you've almost always cut yourself in some way, or you don't get all of the zest. Well, this has a little hole right here, so when you're zesting, it catches everything right in here. You're not losing your zest to who knows where. And when you put your lemon or lime in here, you squeeze it out, it literally turns the lemon or lime inside out. You are getting all of the juice, not like some of those. I don't want to hate on any other products, but I've had products where you don't get all of the juice and you really do. And I have some demos where I'm using this actually while I'm making a cake, because I like to take a box cake and kind of spice it up and add my own twist on it. Some more of the other products that are my favorites. Literally use my Impressions cup every day, probably at work if I'm not using my other cup for water, because it has these awesome little seals right here on the lid. You can put your water in it. My son's gonna step in. Everybody say hi to Gavin. This is Gavin, my son. So if you have kids or you're going to the beach or going to the park, you can put your juice, your water, your whatever in these cups and pour them over like this, shake them. Nothing is gonna come out. But when you put a straw in them, because this is obviously a straw bowl, when you put the straw in, you will be able to get some liquid out. But they are just completely spill proof. Tupperware is known for its seals, and these seal great for travel. Now they also have a set of these reheatable, microwavable cereal bowls that seal up absolutely great. Did you guys hear that? It has that Tupperware seal, and when you seal it, you know you're sealing in the freshness. That's what's awesome about Tupperware, and all of their lids, they call them seals because they're known for that great seal. They also sell these microwavable plates. They come in a set of 4. Since I have gotten these, I literally do not use my regular dishes, and I have stopped buying paper plates because they clean up so well. They're super durable. You can take these camping with you. You're not gonna be breaking plates or creating a ton of trash when you're reusing your plates. They just clean up so well. I could go on and on and on. The last thing though that I will show you before I flip this cake out so I can show you the cake is, I didn't know that Tupperware made pots and pans. And this is the only one I own currently, but I am working on earning an entire set. And if you want to earn an entire set, ask me about that. I will tell you. I have, since I've joined in 3 months, earned so much free stuff, along with you earn 25% of what you sell. So also you can join for $15 just if you want to be a personal shopper and get a 25% off discount for the entire year. You can sign up to be a consultant for $15 and shop for an entire year at 25% off. Plus, you're still privy to the sample items when they come out, so you get to buy things first before anybody else does. And a lot of times they sell the sample items for 30 to 50% off. That's in addition to the 25% that you get. I'm impressed, floored, amazed, and I love being able to have access to those super awesome deals. So if you love Tupperware or you love anything that I've showed you, and there's so much more, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. We're already about 30 minutes, and I appreciate those of you that have stuck with me through this live. The live will keep playing, so if you want to go back and show anybody else anything, you can go back and rewatch this. If you have any questions, please feel free, message me. I am more than glad to answer any questions for you about any of these products. So let me grab a regular plate and we'll flip this cake out. Thank you guys for bearing with me there while I move my camera around. Sorry guys, while I whack the light. All right, so let's flip this cake out so you guys can see what it looks like. I know that you're going to be just as impressed as I was, because I was like, cake in the microwave? No way, that's not going to be good. But since I started making cake in the microwave, my son has been super impressed. And, sorry, my dogs are barking. Shh. So my son has been super impressed, but super happy that he gets to have cake pretty often. So now I'm just going to flip this upside down. Let's all pray together, cross your fingers that I do this right. Flipping it upside down. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's already coming away from the top. So then I'm just going to pull this off. Oh yeah, whoops. I'm already dropping a little bit of apple there off the side, but I didn't grab a very big plate. I just grabbed a dinner plate, and those apples are still nice and hot. Then I'm just going to give this a little twist to pull out the cone. And there's dessert. 10 minutes in the microwave. I know all my apples are falling off that side already because I didn't get a big enough plate. But this is going to be delicious. And I know my son is going to be super happy because he already came in here and told me how good it smelled to eat this. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. If you want to be part of the next live, I'm going to do another party live. Sorry about my dogs barking. I'm going to do another party live for another party, and I'm going to make some hamburger meat in the microwave without having to drain off all of the grease or get hamburger meat splatter all over the place. It's going to come off right into this, from the colander, right into the bottom of the base, and I'm not going to have to try to figure out how to get all that grease off. Anyway, I'm Michelle Wood-Lavis, Shelly for short. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me. I will try to go live too throughout the party, just here and there to pop in, check on you guys. There's going to be some more information posts popping up throughout the next several days. The party ends on Tuesday. There's a link to post your orders. It's super easy. So if you just click on that link and then you go to current parties, then you'll be able to click right on your party host name and shop away. There's some current specials that are happening right now because this month is the 75th birthday for Tupperware. So they are offering specials and discounts like no other time they have before. So check those out because you guys do not want to miss out. Thank you guys so much again for joining me for some of my favorite things. You guys have a blessed night.